What up guys, this is Monkey Figure Reviews, and today we are back with another Figures News Update video. We will be discussing upcoming One Piece figures by Banpresto / Bandai Spirits. Now, the first one on our list, this is the Jump Out Heroes One Piece Monkey D. Luffy. So if I'm not wrong, this series is a collaboration with Shonen Jump, but I might be wrong, so please correct me if I am. And it basically features main protagonists jumping out from manga books from different series. And the first one here is Luffy, and I think the second one is the main character from Demon Slayer. Not sure what's his name because I don't watch it, but they might do more down the line. And it will be really cool if you are a fan and you can line them up together next to each other. So back to this Luffy figure. His height is 15 cm, we can see that over here actually, 15 cm. The release date I am not certain, but one source says that it is March 2021. And to me this figure is kind of gimmickish, not necessarily in a bad way, but I guess you guys should know what I mean. You know, just Luffy jumping out from a manga book. And at the back here, where it looks like his feet are planted, it looks like pages from the book, and you have the smoke effect over here. Basically he goes poof, jumping out from the books, from the manga. And at the bottom we have two books that is kind of like the base for the figure, and this one is open. So I think since he's in his Wano outfit, this should be a chapter from Wano, or it could even be a direct reference to one of the chapters, one of the images from the manga. So if you look at the figure, we can see some details on the straw hats and also the hair. I think those looks pretty good. But from this angle, not so much on the outfit. I apologize for that, but this is the only photo I can find. But at the bottom left, we can have a closer look at his face. And I think that he looks pretty much like Luffy, but he just looks a little bit too young for me, especially for post-time skip Luffy. Yeah, it could be me, but let me know what you guys think. I think the overall demeanor of him is, he looks very, very young. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Now, this is the One Piece magazine figure special episode Luff Volume 2 Podcast The Ace. His release date is January next year, 2021. And previously, I have touched on the first figure, the Volume 1, which is Luffy. And we can see he's holding his sake cup, and I speculated that it would just be the three brothers holding, it's doing a recreation of that scene from their childhood. So now we go into Volume 2, which is this ace, and I can't really say much from this. I feel that the details on the figure looks pretty ordinary, nothing to really write home about, nothing that really stands out. The face, a bit off to me, but I guess it's alright. You can see some muscle scouts on his body, and of course he's holding also the sake cup. I do wonder if the cups will connect when you put the three figures together. I think that will be super awesome, because they'll be facing each other for sure. Which also makes me think now that if you display them, probably you wouldn't be getting a very good view of the figures. Unfortunately, we do not have more angles of Ace. This is a close-up version, so you can only see maybe the freckles, the open mouth. Yeah, I think it looks pretty alright, but I think the main thing about this figure is just about the scene where you have the three brothers all grown up and having a reunion. That's the main attractive point about it. Next, we have the Treasure Cruise World Journey Volume 6 Sabo, and you can see he's kind of wearing like a Aladdin outfit, like a Prince Ali, Middle Eastern Prince outfit, which is really, really cool. And he comes with also Koala, but I'm going to talk about her later. We will get through Sabo first. Both of them will be released also in January next year, 2021. So let's go on to other photos. And basically, he has a very kind of glamorous warrior type outfit, a lot of gold on him, those necklaces on the vest, on the arms, the bracelet, even on the shoes, the sandals, the sword. So this is a very gold Sabo. Alright, the outfit is very gold. I like the creases and the folds. Those are pretty well done. So far, it is pretty much the MO for the Treasure Cruise World Journey figures, because it is based on the skins from the game, from the mobile game, and this is one of the outfits. And they have been really going all around the world. I'm kind of really looking forward towards the Sherlock Holmes and Watson, Ace and Marco. I think they look really dapper in that. Back to this Sabo. Even the swords itself, is this a saber? I'm not sure what I call it, but there's some nice details on it. Looks pretty good. One thing I want to mention specifically for this series, I think I've probably done it before too, is that when they translate from the prototype to the actual figure, there is usually a significant drop in quality, and it looks like it is pretty consistent so far. Even when I look at the recent Rebecca and Vivi, which is very disappointing because they look pretty good in prototype. But I'm not sure, man. It's just the material they use. It feels and looks very cheap, and sometimes the face is kind of off. You know, they shifted it around a little bit, like the eyes or something, and also the hair can be pretty poor when it comes to finishing, which is very disappointing. And I want to mention that again, especially if you want to get these new figures. So, of course, this is another photo of Sabo. His face looks pretty alright. Pretty much like him. The hair is also very good as well. Now, this is Koala. And of course, as you can see, they are supposed to be paired next to one another. So, she's also in something like a, like a warrior outfit with 2 daggers. And, with a blue headband over here as well. Looks pretty cool. Another angle of her. I think for her, she is less bling than Sabo, but I think that's better because if you put them next to one another, they don't look too much the same when it comes to the outfit. Another angle of her, and this is like a like animal skin kind of thing worn around the waist. The thing for the face is also pretty good. Maybe the hair, this part doesn't look very natural, the seam line. That's one issue I can spot over here. Yeah, but the face, from what I can remember of her, looks pretty accurate. And this is how they look like next to each other as a pair. Looks fantastic if you ask me. Now, this figure, I think most of you will be interested in, and I'll probably spend more time talking about. This is the Grandista Nero Zoro, and it's coming out in February next year, 2021. So, my first impression of this figure is that it is very underwhelming, because when I look at the face, it just looks very off. Okay, I'm not sure if it's the mouth that throws off the likeness, like the shape of it, but it just doesn't look like Zoro to me, and looks like a downgrade compared to the first version. Another thing, since this is the only image they have released, I don't think that this figure comes with more accessories. I don't think so. I think this is it, which is very disappointing, because to me, it is not justifiable to pay more than twice the price, or even more than that, when compared to the first Grandista Zoro, to get a different head sculpt and him just holding out the Wado Ichimonji. That's crazy, man. It is not worth it at all, especially if you already own the first one. And the very least they could do is to give him another head with him wearing his black bandana, especially when he is serious. Man, that's the very least they could have given, additional head. But it looks like this is it. And this is the close-up of him. I'm looking at the face again, and he just looks so off to me. Probably, I think the eyes are okay, but I just think it's the mouth. The frown is just off. It's not done well. And also, I actually checked out my Grandista Zoro back then. The previous Grandista Zoro, you actually have the head sculpt and the arm come attached to the upper body. So it isn't like you can swap around within the two Grandista Zoros. I don't think so, since they are fixed. So they are literally different figures which you can't really play around with from what I know so far. And just to show you guys some reference, this is the first Zoro, the smiling Zoro. I think this smiling Zoro looks a ton better than this angry Zoro. Body looks pretty much the same. Colors wise, we're not so sure. It may be changed, but pretty much the rest is the same. And I prefer the smiling Zoro. You know what? That's cheaper and he looks better. Going on about Grandista, we are going to come into the Grandista Nero Sanji as well. This is also announced. Also coming out in February next year, 2021. And now this one is more interesting because we have Sanji holding up a plate of, I don't know, like a cake or, desserts. And he's smiling, so no cigar, no cigarette in his mouth, which is kind of interesting. And this is honestly much better face compared to the first one. This is a close-up. Everything else looks pretty much the same. So I really like this one, but I saw a comment on my figure collection saying that they are forcing us now to pay twice or more for the figure that we should have gotten in the first place. And I really couldn't agree more on that. You know what, this could have just easily been the first figure. This shouldn't have been a Grandista Nero. There's no need for that. But now we know they purposely, I don't know, man, maybe they purposely screw up the first one so they can come up with this one and sell it at a much higher price, which is not very nice. Okay, this is the first one. So I think this is you will be able to interchange the head sculpt, but that's about it. Okay, the body for the first one is actually attached, the one where he's holding his cigarette. And I'll be more interested in this, but I have to consider again because we will see how it goes. Because the first one is actually, even though he doesn't look like he's leaning, he's actually leaning in real life, the real figure. And this, for the prototype, is already leaning. Okay, so I really hope they fix that or improve on the support. Now, this is back to the magazine figure special episode Luff again. This is volume 3 Sabo. So similarly, he's holding up his sake cup and he joins the other two in this scene where they are just having a reunion. He is also coming out in February next year, 2021. And nothing much I can say. So I just kind of think that the colors on his skin tone is very weird, especially next to the hair. I think it's too dark. So the contrast on the skin with the hair is just not the best in my opinion. Other than that, I think you can just see from this photo. This is a close-up. Okay, so this is also very interesting. This is the One Piece Lock File Selection Worst Generation Volume 1 Monkey D. Luffy. He's coming out in March 2021. So I think this is the same series as the previous, the Zoro Sanji scene in my previous video. But that is called the Lock Fight Selection, and now this is called the Lock File Selection. I think there's some error somewhere. Maybe the previous one is called Lock File 2. But most likely this three figures so far, they are sort of from the same series. This is basically Luffy, Wano Luffy. I like the muscles, but I don't like the face. He looks way off. I think it is the hair. The hair is just weird. Could be the head shape as well, the head size. Looks like his head's a little bit too big. Just a little bit, and it looks off. I don't like the face at all. Since this is the worst it says worst generation in the series name, and this is Wano Luffy, and looks like this is the prison, I expect the next character to his side to be Eustace Kid. And that's one I will be more excited because we don't have a lot of kid figures, and I definitely hope that he will be better than this Luffy. Alright, okay, so that's pretty much. I don't have the height for this figure, so we will have to wait and see. This is a close-up. Yeah, man, like the head is just, I think it's too big, and it's also looks like the color on the face and the body is different, so it looks like this is superimposed. It just looks off. Okay, so that's all of the new figures. I will announce the re-releases. This is the Sculptures figure Colosseum 6 Volume 6 Mako. Is coming out in January next year, 2021. So I've actually done a review on this figure before. I still have the figure with me and I really like it. And I think it kind of scales really well with the POP Whitebeard. And he can also be matched with Ace. There's also another Ace figure. Not sure if they will re-release that one. But you can actually place the two figures together as a pair and they look really cool. And if you like Mako, I think this will be a great buy, a great chance to get it. This is the BWFC Banpresto World Figure Colosseum 2017 Volume 1 Noir Zoro. And he's also coming out in January 2021. So I remember when this figure was announced back then, when I looked at the prototype, I was really excited. But when I look at the actual figure, when it came out, the standards were way lower than it should be when compared to this prototype. Like what his outfit, his costume, it looks of a cheaper material. The shading is not as nice looking as this one, and the face is also way off when compared to this. So in the end, even though I really liked the prototype, I didn't order it. I'm not so sure if they will improve it this time, but my gut feeling says no. So it's totally up to you. I think it is still a great pose of Zoro jumping in mid-air, and he's supposed to be facing off with Mihawk. I think it's a pretty unique pose. So if you like it, I think you can just go for it. Most importantly, you should just be happy. So if you like something, you think it makes you happy, go for it. Alright, that's pretty much all I have for figures news. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. If you like my video, do give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell notification button. Alright, thank you guys so much for listening in. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.